Okay, here we have your homework from tonight. I want you to check it. Each one you should have numbered a 1 through 5, your understanding for your self-assessment first. 5 being you understand it so well that you could teach it to someone else. 1 being you totally don't understand it, and all the numbers in between. This one has you, number 1, they use substitution. However, in class, it looks like this would have been a great matrix problem also. The only problem with the matrix problem is your x's and y's need to be lined up. So in order for this to be a matrix problem, I need to switch these two around. So I need to bring the negative 2x first, and then plus y equals negative 2. And then I'll rewrite this one down here. And then you could use the matrix. If you just take your calculator here, and I already put it in my matrix, so I went over to edit, and I put all my numbers in, negative 2, 1, negative 2, 3, negative 4, and 8. Make sure you have that. Then you go second matrix, second quit, excuse me. And then you go second matrix over to math. We want to put it in the RREF, which is here. And then we need to put in matrix A, because that's where I put all my data. And then hit enter. And this is 1, 0, 0, 1. So I know x is 0 and y is negative 2. And you can see they came up with the same thing here. This one, they solved by substitution again, but I thought it was easier to solve for y if you, and did some graphing. So if you just subtract 5 over here, that becomes 0. It gives negative 4x minus 5. And then this one you can just divide by 8. And then this, you can reduce this to 2/3, and that crosses off. So I came up with those y equations. This would be y equals 6 over 8, which is 2/3, minus 9 over 8. There's nothing you can do to simplify that, x. So I just took those and solved them and put them in slope-intercept form and solved them, and then went to my calculator here, put them in here, and then I graphed them. Is that the right one? Nope, that's not the right one. Oops, hold on. So here we have, that was 2/3, so you had to put that in a parenthesis, minus parentheses 9/8 x. And then we had, down at the bottom, we had negative 4x minus 5. And when we graph those, we find that they have an intersection. And so I go second trace or calc. I don't know if I did that right. Oops. Second trace, we go to 5 for intersection. I want to move my cursor to where I think the intersection is. And then I want it to guess. And so it guesses negative 9.7, which we round to negative 2, which is my answer here. And then 2.88, which rounds to 3 for my y. So that's fine. 2 asks you to determine the number of intersections, okay? So for this one, again, you could do matrices and move the 3 and the 5 over, or we could put it in slope-intercept form, which I like doing better on these ones. So if we subtract 5 here, we get 3x minus 5, and that's 0. This one, I'm going to add the 6x over. I'm going to add the 6x over here. And so that crosses off, and then you divide by 2 to get rid of the 2. So 2's cross off. So that ends up being y equals 6 over 2, which is 3x, and then negative 5 over 2, which is negative 5. And you can see this is y equals 3x minus 5, y equals 3x minus 5, and they're the same line, one solution. This one I added the 6x over here to here. So I have y equals negative 1x plus 6x. Here we can add the 8. So that's gone. And then you divide by the 2 and leave the y. And it's just asking the number of solutions. So this is going to be 1/2 x. This is 6x. So the slopes aren't the same. So I know it's one solution. And then this one again, we can solve for y, I think is probably the best way. So we subtract 9 here. And then we divide by 3. So that's going to give me 5x minus 3. And then here, I just need to divide by 2 to get the y by itself. So if I divide by 2, that gives me 5x plus 2 equals y. And you can see the slope here is 5, the slope here is 5, the y-intercept is 2, negative 3. So they're not the same lines, but they have the same slope. Therefore, they're parallel, and there's no solution on that. And that's all you got to write. Down here, this is the break-even point. What does the solution x equal 5 represent? So if I look at this, x equals 5, that's the x-axis right here, right? So if I look at 5 and draw it up like this, this is my intersection point, right? So that means after 5 hours, the company will produce, that would be 1,300 widgets, and that's also, you know, your break-even point where there's no income and no expenses. They broke even. This one, I'm going to, on your test, I'm going to not have you tell me which method you're going to solve. I'm probably just going to have you skip this problem altogether because we did ours a little bit differently. 5, you have to figure out what the systems of equations is. Here, it looks like they use substitution. Again, matrices would be a great way because your x's, your y's, and your equals are lined up. So in your matrix, you would put -2, 7, and 13, 4, -6, and -2. You should come up with x is 4 and y is 3. Okay? This one's a little bit more difficult. We've got those funny numbers, and we learned about this in class. To make this easier, because this is the 10ths place on all these, I'd probably multiply it by 10, both sides, and that would change that to 4x plus 9y equals -19. That's a nicer one, right? And then this would be -8x. And then I would subtract this over, so it's in a matrix. So that would be -7y equals 5. Okay? So all I did was multiply everything by 10 because I saw the they're in the 10th place. And so that just makes some nice whole numbers. And then I put this in your matrix here. Or you can definitely use substitution like they did down here. So we should y is 2, or x is 2 and y is -3. And then moving down, you're going to have several problems on your test like number 6, so really pay attention to this. It says the Workout Plus offers a membership for $30 each month. Again, they each should tell you that is a slope, and the startup fee is the y-intercept. And again, this one's $50 each month with a $20 startup fee. So again, I would have wrote this 30x or m plus 100 and 50x plus 20, but it doesn't matter. And then you could have, they used substitution again, or we could have graphed these because they're all in the y equals, which is probably what I would have done. So if you go to your calculator, because they're already in, it's already in slope-intercept form here. Go to your go to your y equals, clear that out, and then I would put in my 100 plus 30x, or you could do 30x plus 100, and again 20 plus 50x. There's slope-intercept form, so we want to graph that. Now again, this is going to be way out of the 10 by 10 range. So we want to zoom out and hit enter again. And we want to zoom until we can see that intersection, so I probably need to do it one more time. And again, you can barely see it, it's somewhere up in here, but we have that intersection feature, and I'm just going to tell it to guess for me. I have no idea. So X is 4 and Y is 20. And make sure you're going to have to write X, you know, as membership, or excuse me, months. So 4 months, the cost will be the same. At 4 months, they will both cost you $220. So that's the break-even point. And that's it. Okay. So on your test tomorrow, you are going to have several like this from the IXL type site, and then make sure you can find the solutions. You'll have a graph like this, and you'll have to tell the number of solutions, and you'll have to solve. And then if there's something you still don't understand after going over that, we'll have a few minutes in class tomorrow.